Hi, so Mayor. How you doing? It's Abba. We're reading about baseball's greatest hitters. Okay, that's Mark McGuire. That's Sammy Sosa, and that's Hank Aaron. There's Babe Ruth right in the middle. Okay, and today we're going to read. Last week we read about Ty Cobb, and today we're going to read about Babe Ruth. Okay, here's a picture of Babe Ruth right here. The first slugger. It's the third game of the 1932 World Series. The New York Yankees are in Chicago to face the Cubs. The score is tied in the top of the fifth inning when the Yankee slugger Babe Ruth comes out on deck. Babe is baseball's first power hitter. By clouding homer after homer, he has changed the game more than anyone else. But he's 37 years old now. Is he too old to hit anymore? Babe, however, still believes in himself. Cubs fan boo as Babe steps into the batter's box. Players on the Cub bench heckle him. When the first pitch is a strike, someone says, "Baboon! Fatso!" Babe, who is overweight, grins and raises one finger. For years, he's had trouble keeping himself in shape. He won't exercise like his teammates or follow a diet. For breakfast, he eats 18 egg omelets. 6 hot dogs and 6 sodas make up a snack. At dinner, he wolfs down 2 whole fried chickens. The next 2 pitches are balls, but the third is a strike. The fans scream and yell. They're screaming at him. Will Babe strike out? He does go after a lot of bad pitches. He never chokes up on the bat, and he always takes a big swing. He tries to sock the ball so hard that he sometimes spins around when he misses, but mostly he connects. Babe can homer on a pitch just above his shoes. He can whack a ball so low and hard, he fears one day he'll hurt a pitcher. Babe rubs some dirt on his hands. He looks at the Cub dugout and raises 2 fingers. He's down 2 strikes, but there's 1 left to go. Babe says out loud, it only takes 1 to hit it. Some people think he points to the center field bleachers. Deep in the batter's box, Babe gets ready. The pitcher fires. It's a changeup, low and away. Babe swings his heavy bat. The ball rockets into the sky. It goes over the center field wall. Home run. Babe circles the bases laughing. As he rounds third, he clasps his hands over his head. He ignores the garbage the fans are throwing on the field. That's not a picture. Somebody drew a picture, but... The Yankees win this game and then go on to win the World Series. Babe's at bat becomes one of the most famous ever. His legend grows all the greater. Yet even before that clout, Babe was the best-known American in the world. For years, crowds followed him wherever he went. Stadium attendance tripled for games he played in. Before Babe, a player could hit just 10 home runs and lead the league. Then, in 1919, that is 90 years ago, Babe slammed 29 home runs. The rest of his whole team only hit 4. This feat seemed greater because since Babe was known as a pitcher before he became an outfielder, he was a pitcher. He was a very good pitcher too, actually. In 1920, he became a full-time outfielder. That year, he hit 54 home runs. That wasn't just more than any other player. It was more than any other American League team hit altogether. Yet when he was young, no one felt he would amount to much. By the age of 8, he was cutting classes, stealing, and chewing tobacco. He had to be put in reform school. Here's what he looked like when he was... this is a picture of Babe Ruth when he was on the Red Sox. You can even see the letters R-E-D, Sox. But at any rate, here's a picture when he was younger. You can see over here the letters from the Red Sox that spell Red Sox. But in any case, that's Babe Ruth when he was much younger. Babe was always in trouble, but he was always also generous and kind. In school, he bought candy for the small boys and took the blame for their pranks. People didn't seem to notice that he was not so good looking. They just saw his joyful smile. After he became famous, he visited sick children in the hospital. Time after time, he would leave $100 behind. Then when he died at 53, everyone was sad. No man was more a baseball hero than Babe. And here's a picture of Babe Ruth at bat. Let's see. Altogether, his lifetime batting average was .342. Okay, let's see. He has this. Let's see. How many home runs altogether? It doesn't say here. I don't believe it. He hit 50 home runs 4 times and batted 300 or better 17 times. Oh yeah, here we go. Let's see. He hit 714 home runs in his career. Okay, that's Babe Ruth. Now we're going to read about another great hitter named Ted Williams, who was on the Boston Red Sox. Ted Williams was the last person in baseball to hit over 400 in a season. September 28th, 1941, the Boston Red Sox have come to Philadelphia to play the Athletics. There is a doubleheader scheduled, but the fans are interested in something else. They've come to watch Ted Williams bat. Ted is only 23, but he's hitting .399. More than anything, he wants to bat .400. Today is the last day of the season. If he doesn't play, his average will be rounded up to .400. But he takes the field. He wants to prove that he can really do it. Ted has been feeling the pressure. His average has dropped 13 points in the last 12 games. Just last night, he walked 10 miles worrying. The Philadelphia crowd is rooting for the Red Sox slugger. Even some of the Athletics wish him luck. As he comes to the plate, the umpire tells him to relax, but Ted is so nervous his hands are shaking. He steps into the batter's box and keeps his feet wide apart. Wiggling his hips and shoulders, he jiggles up and down. Here's a drawing of it. He swings his light bat and twists his hands around its handle. He's fussy about his bat, and once he returns one because the handle is just off 0.005 of an inch. Ted stares at the pitcher. He's concentrating completely. When the ball shoots in, he strides confidently forward. With perfect timing, he swings and connects. It's a drive down the first baseline. The crowd hopes it's a hit. When it falls in for a single, they cheer Ted on. The next time up, he homers. Then he gets 2 more singles. He's batting .404 now, but he still won't sit down. He's going to play the whole doubleheader. He wants everyone to know that he's truly a great hitter. The fans roar each time he comes to the plate. He gets 2 more hits. One a line drive blasted so hard it dents an outfield speaker. It dents an outfield speaker, okay? By the end of the day, Ted is batting .406. He finishes the season first in average, homers, walks, runs scored, and on-base percentage. All of his years of practice have finally paid off. That's a picture of Ted Williams batting. He was number 9 on the Red Sox. Ted has always wanted to be the greatest hitter who ever lived. Here's another picture of Ted Williams. You can see his face a little better here. He started playing baseball when he was 6. At the age of 12, he spent most nights in his backyard practicing hitting. By the time he was 20, Ted was in the majors. He studied pitchers and umpires, becoming an expert on the strike zone. He knew the slope of each stadium's batter's box and the direction of the wind. Like a scientist, he researched how the ball moves to the plate. Ted was baseball's most patient hitter. He rarely swung at pitches that weren't strikes, but some say he thought only of his average and didn't care about his team. Ted was not easy to get along with. He threw tantrum after tantrum. He didn't have good mitos. At the ballpark, he hurled bats, ripped out pipes, and smashed lights. He screamed at fans who booed him. To show he didn't care what the crowd thought, he never tipped his hat to a cheering crowd. When he homered in his very last time at bat, he wouldn't acknowledge the applause. As rude as Ted was, he could also be generous. From childhood on, he helped the sick and the needy. He raised millions of dollars for a cancer hospital. Some thought he was the greatest player of all time. And here's another picture of Ted Williams. And that's going to end now because I'm running out of time. I love you. Mwah. We'll read more tomorrow. Bye-bye.